all of these are going to be a buy.
So if you're going to sell it to somebody like us, it's going to be under RRP.
And it's been seen on Messi, Kris Jenner, Kevin O'Leary.
We would look to sell that watch for upwards of 100,000.
Even the crown is iced out.
You're potentially going to lose maybe upwards of £5,000.
You could see somebody from 50 metres away.
It kind of nudged the 5980 full rose to the side a little bit.
So that action of cutting the seal, how much money is involved in
We
that?
did warn them.
Okay, good morning, Stu. We're back for part 2.
Morning, Harry. How are you?
I'm all good. So today we're talking about Patek Philippe, and we're looking at models which you can buy and sell on for a profit, and also the models that you're going to lose money on if you buy them and try and sell them to a pre-owned dealer. This is part 2, so if you haven't seen part 1, I'll link it in the description. In part 1, before we jump into the watches, we talk a bit about the Patek market and how it differs from, say, the Rolex market. So if you're interested in that, check out part 1. But since we're here for part 2, we're going to be starting off with the Calatrava and going over the models that we didn't last time. There's 3 new models that came out for 2023 in the Calatrava range. These are the 6007G. There's 3 colours of those.
Yeah, the yellow, the blue and the red. The same list price. It's in white gold. It's a new 2023 release. The list price is just over £30,000. Yeah, they have been in the market for quite a few months now. So the hype has slightly simmered down from when they first came out. Still a lovely watch. They're a novelty. They're a new release. Something that we would probably purchase for just over RRP.
Okay.
Maybe around the 32 to 35,000 mark. So it's a buy.
Right. So it's a good model to get. Is there any colour preference?
I think it's pretty much similar across the board. There isn't too many of these watches available. Mm-hmm. I think maybe the yellow will do slightly better. I seem to see there's not so many of those in the market. We have bought and sold the other 2 colours. We haven't had the yellow.
Right.
Whether there's an equal split, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know if Patek actually make the same amount of each colour or if there's a difference.
Or how the watches have been delivered to the AD, if it was to the red to begin with, or the blue, or however it might be. But yeah, there seems to be less yellow in the market, what we've seen, and we have been offered quite a lot of the watches, but initially a lot of the clients probably are thinking the watches are worth more than what they actually are, what they're trading for. I can see what they are trading for in the UK and outside of the UK, and they're selling roughly around the £40,000 mark.
But if you are going to buy a Calatrava as your first watch from Patek, this is actually quite a good model to go for, because on some of the other Patek Calatravas, you're actually going to lose money if you look to get rid of those.
Yeah, it's probably because it's a newer model.
Yeah.
It's a fresh looking piece in the white gold, and it's got the 3 colour variations. Mm-hmm. It's quite modern looking. It's quite funky for me. It maybe attracts maybe the younger audience over the other ones.
It's definitely a much more sporty looking watch compared to some of the more classic watches. Yeah. For example, the 6119, so that comes in rose gold, it's also in white gold, and the list price on those is 25,000. They have the small seconds on the dial. Mm-hmm. Is that a good watch to purchase if you're looking to sell it on, or is it something that's going to come in under list?
Harry, that's actually a watch which is going to be a minus. So if you're going to sell it to somebody like us, it's going to be under RRP. So 25k, you're potentially going to lose if you're looking to sell to us, maybe upwards of £5,000.
Right.
If you're looking to consign it, a couple of £1,000 more. The watch isn't the best of seller. There isn't so much of a demand for it, especially in the UK. But if we're talking a brand new, freshly dated watch, I can definitely sell it. But the price will be around RRP or slightly above as a ballpark figure.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare that one to the 5227, there's a little bit more going on. It's got some more texture in the bezel, a bit more going on the dial. But again, it's a very classic looking dress watch, isn't it? So.
It is. And again, it's something which will potentially, if it's a fresh dated watch, it's going to sell for just above RRP. But then if you are interested in buying that watch for your personal collection, you do actually like it, I would suggest to go down the pre-owned route, and you're probably going to pick one up for around 20k.
Right then, so we'll have a look at a very, very special watch from Patek. I can't imagine they make many of these because it has a very special dial.
Yeah.
The one I'm talking about is the 5088. This is a platinum watch.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about the dial?
Yeah, it's enamel, it's hand engraved, the case is in platinum. It's something which there's not very many pieces actually in the market, and I was actually offered this watch yesterday, and I was speaking to a gent who has one for sale. He's unsure if he wants to sell it from his collection. I made him an offer on it, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a watch which trades under RRP,
and the RRP is £84,000 in the UK, so it's very high RRP, but I imagine there's a lot of labour goes into creating that dial. I wouldn't want to know how long it actually takes to hand engrave that dial, but it is an under RRP piece.
Yeah, so the market price is around 70 to 75,000.
Okay.
But
so the bid would be coming in under that?
It would be,
okay.
And you know, I don't know how many people are in the market to buy that watch. It's probably more of a watch. If I was buying it for stock, I would want to be purchasing it for a good price to make it attractive to somebody who's actually looking to buy that watch, because there's not so many people in the market looking to buy that particular watch.
Yeah.
You know, so if I could offer it to somebody for around 65 to 70, then you know, they're going to get themselves a good deal. It's 10, 15,000 underneath the RRP.
Okay, straight in with the Aquanaut. So we're going to have a look at the 5168G to start. Quite similar to the 5167, however, it's slightly bigger and available in white gold.
Yeah, just over 42mm case size in white gold. It comes with the khaki and it comes with the blue. Super popular watch, this one. Going back to 12 months ago, you know, it is peak. It was a lot more than what it's trading for now. You know, I bought and sold this watch at a lot higher price previously. The list price on that one, Harry, is 40,000 or there or thereabouts. Now the khaki always does better in the pre-owned market than the blue. So at 40,000 list price, the khaki, we would probably look to buy that watch at around 20k above. Okay, so around 60, and in the market it sells around 65 to 70. For a brand new unworn piece. And the blue is slightly less. If you were selling to someone like us, we would be offering around 55,000.
Okay, I mean, it's interesting because I quite like the blue in this, but I guess it's always personal preference, but the personal preference of the market is that the green's better.
I couldn't say there's more of one or the other. It's just the green demands a higher price in the pre-owned market, around £5,000 to £10,000 more in some instances, yeah. So for us to buy, you're probably talking around 5k difference between the colours, but it's definitely a buy.
Okay, into the 5968. This is a chronograph model, and you can get these in steel, white gold, and rose gold. Yeah.
So you have the steel with the orange ticker, and it comes with the two straps.
The orange strap as well.
Yeah. The infamous orange strap. It's a beautiful looking watch in steel. So that watch came out in 2018, right up to now currently, and the two white gold versions and also the rose gold. The white gold versions came out in 2021 and the rose gold came out in 23.
So all of these are going to be a buy because they're all going to trade quite a bit above the list price.
Yeah.
Which is the best one to get though, as in has the biggest margin?
Probably the steel.
Right.
So the steel has obviously a smaller RRP. It's £44,000. That watch can sell. We would look to sell that watch as a brand new, freshly dated watch for upwards of 100,000.
Right.
Yeah, so 95 to 100 as of today, in today's market. So we would probably be looking to buy that watch for around 85 to 90,000.
So the other three, the gold models, they're around £60,000 list in the UK.
So similar sort of scenario to the non-chronograph, the 5168G, where the green, the khaki green, trades for slightly more than the blue. It's exactly the same with the travel time. Both have the same RRP, just over 60,000. The green, we would look to purchase that watch for around 90, ballpark figure, and the blue around 10k less, around 80, so around £20,000 uplift on the blue and around £30,000 uplift on the green.
And what's the story with the rose gold? Obviously that would be being the newest watch.
Yeah, so very similar to the white gold and green, so ballpark 90,000, and that watch we would retail that for around £100,000.
So which one do you get asked for the most?
Probably the steel.
Okay. Do you think that orange strap and the orange ticker has a lot to do with that?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's quite iconic now, isn't it?
It is. All 4 models sell very, very good, and if we have a freshly dated watch, it'll last days.
Right.
And so we're always looking to buy and sell these watches.
But again, when we were looking, there's so few in the market, isn't there?
Exactly. Compared to the amount of people who's looking to purchase. We're talking worldwide here. And I might look on my WhatsApp chat where I'm connected with all of the dealers across the world. There might be only less than a handful of unworn pieces available within that week, to actually purchase. So if you're talking about the UK market, where we will purchase from, it's going to be even less. It's few and far between for the freshly dated pieces. So that's where the premium comes in. So if a client's interested in buying that watch for his own collection and he's happy to wear a pre-owned watch, go with a pre-owned.
I think if you're going to wear it and it's in great condition, why not? Okay, we're going to move on to some of the technically ladies' watches, as Patek categorizes them.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them are very popular with both.
Exactly. So there's some of these Aquanaut models that you're talking about now, the novelty models. Probably recently seen them on quite a lot of celebrities.
Yes.
So I'm sure you'll be able to pull that up on the screen.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the celebrity one that we're talking about there is the 7968 with the red strap and the rainbow bezel and the diamonds and the rainbow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's sapphires or diamonds on the dial. I've got a feeling it'll be sapphires. But that watch is £171,000 list price, rose gold, and it's been seen on Messi, Kris Jenner, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank in the USA.
He likes the red, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's known for the red strap. So yeah, I think that is a genius marketing move from Patek. Okay, we're going to get it on the biggest names some of the biggest names in the world.
Yeah, so how that would work? They would give the celebrities the most exclusive piece in that collection, and it's going to become so sought after. Then people are going to ask for the other watches further down the line, so it pushes the whole range forward, even though it didn't need a push, but it's obviously genius marketing.
I mean, it couldn't be a more standout watch on the wrist as well. Exactly. I mean, you could see somebody from 50 meters away.
Exactly.
That red strap with the diamonds shining.
Exactly. So and that's just made the market price of that watch even higher.
Yeah, it's definitely a red carpet or kind of Oscars showstopper, isn't it?
Well, I've never actually purchased this watch as of yet.
Do you see those in the groups though?
Yeah, outside of the UK, and it's I could definitely sell it. If someone's been offered that watch in the UK, I'll be interested in buying it.
And what would you look to purchase that for?
So the list price is 170,000, and you're probably talking ballpark 300,000 for a rubber strapped.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And you would have people, if you had one today in store, you'd purchased it. How quickly do you think you could sell that watch?
If I had 300 grand in it, I would want to be selling it quite fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I would want to be holding on to it. Stuff like that, we would look to sell pretty much straight away. But there is clients out there. But once again, probably not in the UK.
So another watch that's been spotted on a lot of celebrity wrists is the 5261R. So this is, again, it's an Aquanaut, technically a lady's watch, but it's 40 millimeter. So a lot of gents have been wearing it as well.
On the blue.
Yeah. So that's 49,000 list price.
Yeah. Very similar situation. The pre-owned market or the grey market is not so high. There's not so much of a big margin compared to the 5968, but it's still a lot over RRP. The RRP at 50k ballpark. If I was looking to purchase that watch or to consign that watch, you're probably looking at around an uplift of 50 to 70,000 pound. On top.
But for those who aren't aware, you have to bear in mind that the person who is offered that watch from Patek will have a very big spend history.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 that's going to be correct. They're going to purchase lots of other models, Calatravas, etc. There might be a celebrity or a sports star. Then they're going to get offered that watch without buying some of the other pieces. But a lot of the time, it's going to be a collector who's offered that one, someone who's got, like you said, a large previous spend history with the brand, to be offered something like that, and that's why you don't see so many for sale, because these people I know a lot of them tend to hold the watches.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to hold the watches forever and pass it down in generations. That does happen. But a lot of these guys do keep the collection, even though if they're not interested in wearing it, just to keep the relationship with the brand. And they have that much money potentially, and that they have no interest in selling them. So that's why you don't see so many come into the market. So when it does come into the market, it's £50,000 retail. Nobody can get that watch, so people are prepared to pay 120 to 150. Upwards of £100,000 on top.
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
Well, that's how it works. So there's two more to cover. There's the 5072R, which is a smaller ladies' watch. This is 84,700 in the UK. List price. You've got quite a striking dial, like a checkerboard, and then a diamond bezel. Where is that sitting in the market right now?
So it's not as high as the other two just discussed, because it is a ladies' watch. But again, outside of the UK, it's going to demand quite a large premium. At 85k, it is quite expensive for what it is.
Yeah.
But remember, it's a Patek Philippe. It's got factory diamond bezel, etc. It's a new novelty watch. That watch I've seen selling for as much as 130,000.
Right.
So 85 to purchase direct, and I've seen this watch sell as much as 130.
So this
maybe not now. The hype may have simmer down somewhat. If I was looking to stock that watch, potentially 100, 110, there or thereabouts.
Okay. And then its older sister, I guess you could call it, the 5062. This is the 450R. Now this is
flooded,
fully iced out, flooded. You could say diamonds on the
dial, bezel, shoulders, everything.
The whole shebang. That's 180,000 list.
The whole shebang. Yeah, it's a crazy watch. This one, once again, for the ladies, £180,000 list is already a massive price to purchase that watch direct. Again, I've never had one in store. I've never seen one. I have seen some data on what some of these watches have traded for, retail and B2B, business to business, and it goes for approximately 30 to 50,000 pound above RRP as it stands at the minute.
What's quite incredible about it is the different cuts of diamond. You've got almost square cut in the bezel, you've got round cut diamonds, you've got baguette cut. It's not just, you see pavé dials, but there's so much detail in the dial.
100%, it's an exceptional watch. There's not going to be so many available in the market. That's why people are prepared to pay upwards of 50 to 60,000 pound above RRP for a watch which is already nearly 200,000.
Yeah. So if you have pockets deep enough and you go into your Patek dealer and you say, look, listen, I'm looking for a 5980 Nautilus or a 5990, but I'd also like to buy one of these watches for my partner. That's probably a good move to get yourself up the list.
If you've got pockets deep enough.
If you can do it.
Yeah, definitely. And some people might be skeptical to think, what price is this watch actually selling for?
Yeah.
So at that point, somebody like I can always, which I have daily conversations with clients. I've been offered such and such. The price is such and such. If I was to sell it, what sort of price do you think I would get? And I would always advise them. In the market currently, this is the sort of price it's trading for. And a lot of the time, people think, wow, this watch is actually trading for above. A lot of the time, they didn't realise, especially with a diamond set Aquanaut, which is £180,000. They would expect to potentially lose money on something like that if they're not savvy to the watch market or the current prices, because I'm on the button every day with all the prices throughout the world, so I've got quite a good understanding of what things buy and what things sell for. So if people do get offered these giant gem set pieces or anything similar, they just give us a call and I'll give them the best advice possible.
We'll move on to the Nautilus models. So we're going to revisit the ladies Nautilus, the 7118, this time with the diamond bezels, just to see if there's any difference in, is the diamond bezel worth getting, and does it make a difference to the price that you can sell it to a dealer for?
So the in stainless steel, it comes in the 3 dials again. Yeah. And to have the diamond bezel, it's around £7,000 increase on the RRP, making the watch around £33,000. It comes in the blue, comes in the white, but it's classed as silver,
Yeah.
Harry, and it also comes in the grey. A watch that I can sell as many as I can get, basically. So it's a very, very strong seller outside of the UK for me, for this watch. And yeah, it's a great one. And again, you see the blue always demands slightly more in the grey market. It's 32,000. The blue we would probably purchase for around 50. So an uplift of around £20,000. So definitely all three are definitely ones to be picking up.
Is this a better watch to get than the ladies' Aquanauts?
Very, very, very similar. Very, very similar. You know, like for like, to be honest. The white and the grey, we would look to purchase slightly below the blue for around maybe 45 to 48.
Okay.
But yeah, brilliant watches to have. Then you can move on to the precious metal, the rose gold, which comes in the 2 dials with a list price of 52 or thereabouts. These watches also very, very high in demand pieces. At just over 50,000, we would look to purchase these sort of pieces for upwards of 20 to 25,000 above RRP.
Right, okay. So the precious ones are actually better to get. Are they better to get than the steel, or are the steel ones better?
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah, around 20k, 20 to 25k uplift. You know, the case size is 35.2 millimeters. Lady size Nautilus. It's a stunning watch, and just so high in demand.
Yeah, I know it's on the dial as well. It's not straight lines like the men's one. It's kind of like slightly wavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So on to quite a striking looking watch. This is the 7118, but it's the 1300R.
Yeah, it's a gem set version.
Yeah,
so you have 3 versions. You have the totally iced out rose gold and white gold. We'll move on to them in a minute. Then you have the new released 2023
Yeah.
special dial and bezel.
Yeah, I think is a Specitite.
Yeah, it's a type of garnet.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually haven't bought this watch. I haven't been offered so many of this watch. It's quite rare. Well, yeah, it is very, very rare.
List price being 66,000 on that watch.
66,000. It's trading for around double.
Right. Okay. So there's got to be very few of them in the market.
Correct. Very, very few, and yeah, around double. So around 120,000, 130,000.
Okay.
Depending on how many's available.
So if you were to make a bid on that, what do you think would be?
120k.
Right. Okay.
Today. So uplift of 60,000 thereabouts.
So
55.
a very good watch to buy, no matter what your plans are with it. Okay.
Actually, I think we got offered one of those actually a couple of days ago. A guy bought one for his partner. The watch is still brand new. He never give it to her, and I think he's had a slight falling out
Okay.
with his partner. I think he's moved on, and he had this watch, and he's obviously a very good client of Patek, and he's single at the minute, so he has no need for it. Similar to a wedding ring or an engagement ring. Engagement ring, yeah. People do buy and sell these things, and yeah. So I made him an offer on it, so maybe it'll come. We will see, but definitely a special watch, and yeah, it's double RRP.
So these next watches are as iced out, pretty much as you can get. Even the crown is iced out.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's something like 2,500 diamonds, around over 12 carats of diamonds in total. You know, these are price on application pieces.
Yeah, it's few and far between in the market. Maybe some slightly older models, because they have been out for quite a few years, this particular watch. But it's a special VIP watch if you're going to be offered anything like this, or if you're even contemplating even potentially purchasing something like this. I'm actually unsure of what the RRP is. If I'm going to spit out a figure, what I think the value of the white gold one is probably around 200k.
Okay.
Yeah, and the rose gold probably more.
So it's interesting because the value isn't on the market, isn't quite as high as some of the Aquanaut models, which are newer and also diamond set, but I would imagine these will probably cost as much, if not more, potentially.
Probably more, Harry, but the thing is, the amount of customers for something like this is few and far between.
Yeah.
That goes hand in hand with the amount of pieces that are actually available.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard to say because it doesn't look like there's as many big diamonds on those, like, so maybe that has an effect.
No, but it's all factory set. So
yeah,
there's over 10 carats of stones in total, as you said.
Yeah.
2,500 diamonds in total. Patek factory set. You know, it's a special watch. And personally, I buy and sell a lot of Pateks. I might buy and sell upwards of 20 or 30 Pateks per month, which is quite a lot in the UK market. But I've never actually came across this watch. I've never bought and I haven't sold this watch. But I'm saying the watch is probably worth $200 to $250.
Okay, right then. Moving on to a gents model, we're looking here at the 5726A. So we have one available on the leather strap. That's the A. And then is the other one white gold, or is that steel as well? I might have...
No, steel.
Both of them steel?
Yeah, so it's the annual calendar moon phase, so it's the 5726. We have both of these in stock at the minute.
Okay.
It's the 40.5mm case. It comes in with the blue dial and full bracelet, or it comes with a black charcoaly dial and the leather strap variation.
So we're looking at a 40k list price on the leather strap and a 45k UK list price on the steel.
Yeah. Which
is the better watch to buy if you're looking for an uplift? And which one's the better seller as well?
Yeah, so the uplift is going to be quite a lot more on the full bracelet, so on the steel. There's around 5k difference in RRP on the two models, but the full bracelet with the blue dial commands a higher price in the grey market. I wouldn't say there's more of each of them in the market. I think it's just more of a demand for the full bracelet over the leather strap watch.
So the steel bracelet version, how much is that market price?
So market price is probably around 90 to 95. I have a perfect condition 2021 piece, which is 85. We're asking 85k for it. If I was offered a brand new 2023 freshly dated watch, I would probably purchase for around 85k, and it will potentially sell for around 95 as a ballpark figure.
How does that compare to the 5712? Is this a more popular or less popular model? Because in terms of the physical, it's quite similar.
Price-wise in the grey market, around the same, slightly more. The 5712 slightly less RRP, around $5,000 difference.
But this model's been out for less time, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would say the 5712 in steel, because it's a lot slimmer, probably has more of a demand to some extent, but not so much more.
I didn't know that it was slimmer, so it's more similar to the 5711 in terms of the case thickness.
Correct. Yeah, but yeah, I would say it's slightly more sought after than the 5726 with the steel bracelet. With the leather strap, and that has a retail price of just over 40,000, and it will sell in the grey market for around 60 to 65. So if I was buying that I'll be paying around 55. 55k for something like that.
So the steel one's the one to go for?
Yeah, so around 15k uplift on the version with the leather strap, and on the full bracelet is around £40,000 uplift. It's quite a lot. Okay,
so this is the newest daddy of the Nautilus. It's the 5990. It's a 40.5mm case, available in steel and in rose gold. Do you want to run through some of the specs on that watch? Because this one does a lot.
Yeah, so at the minute it comes in two variations. It comes in steel, which currently has the blue dial, but this watch has been out since 2015 with a different dial, different die colours. They introduced the rose gold model in 2021 up to now, and yeah, it kind of nudged the 5980 full rose to the side a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, with that stunning blue dial. It is a flyback chronograph with the dual time day and night function. And yeah, what a watch it is. The steel variation has an RRP of 55,000, where the full rose version has an RRP of 95k. So yeah.
They're clever with the way that they do the dial and metal combinations. For instance, in the 5980, if you want the blue dial, which is often popular, right, in watches, blue dials, you have to get the two-tone, whereas here they've offered a full rose model with the blue dial. So it's the best combination, isn't it?
Yeah, in the rose gold with the blue dial 5990, it's a really nice, it's a stunning looking watch. It's a lovely watch to actually own. We've bought and sold quite a lot of these pieces. Going back from when they first came out, I've actually had pieces that have been double sealed, single sealed.
Actually, you had a client for the rose gold one, right? And you had a sealed watch.
Yeah.
But I believe they actually wanted you to open it, yeah?
Yeah, we opened it in the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't actually in the UK, but he wanted us to open it and set the time for him, have it all ready for him before we shipped it.
So that action of cutting the seal, how much money is involved in
We
that?
did warn him.
Yeah.
We did say the watch is sealed, but it was one of the first watches on the market, and he wanted to have it on his wrist, which is great.
Yeah.
He wasn't buying it for investment purposes. He was buying the watch because he wanted to wear the watch.
But I mean, that kind of watch, given how hard it is to find it double sealed.
At that point, you know, you're talking a lot, 20 to 30,000 pound potentially different once that was done and he was put on his wrist and it was pre-owned, just because at that point there was a massive hype around the watch when it first came out in 2021. I can't remember the actual numbers that we sold him the watch for, but yeah.
Fair enough.
He was wearing it.
So right now, how much is the market price for the steel and then the rose?
Okay, yeah, so the steel is 55, and we would probably purchase that watch for around double RRP, ballpark 90 to 100,000 pounds.
And what does it sell for?
It sells maybe 10% above.
Right. Okay.
120, 110, 120 for a freshly dated watch. Again, always jump back to the pre-owned version because you've got different dial variations leading all the way back to 2015 on that watch. So you've got a big spread, maybe upwards of 40% from a freshly dated watch
to a 2015
to a pre-owned 2015, 2016 in not so good condition. So there's a big difference there. But if you're looking for a brand new freshly dated watch, it's going to be around the low 100s.
And then the rose gold.
Yeah, so this one is around £100,000 RRP, and it trades for around 200.
Right.
Ballpark figure. So if a business like us were looking to purchase that watch, it's around double.
Okay.
Yeah, so around 200,000, 190. Maybe I would offer around 185 or something like that. Sell just above 200,000.
Okay, well, finally that brings us on to the 5740G. This is a white gold model, 40mm. And it comes in at £121,090 here in the UK.
It's the perpetual calendar. It's something which I haven't actually bought and sold for probably a good few months now. You know, I've had a handful of these pieces, probably pre-owned this year, which I've bought and sold. I can't recall buying a freshly dated one this year, but I can give you the figures. It's expensive RRP, it's over £120,000. That watch in the market, it will probably retail for just under 200, maybe 180 to 190. So if I was looking to purchase it, it's going to be around 160 to 170,000 pounds. So probably an uplift of around 50 to 60,000 to sell to someone like us.
So the RRP of this watch is like really high. Even when you compare it to the full rose, it's a lot more RRP. I'm guessing
you have the complications.
The complications, and then also I'm guessing the production numbers on that Nautilus are going to be really low. I mean, the boss of LVMH, Bernard Arnault, he wears this watch with the
Tiffany dial.
With the Tiffany dial, and it's a one of one, a piece unique. So you know, if that's his model of choice, that does say something, right?
And I've actually worn this watch quite a few times. I've had it on for a few days. It's quite heavy.
Is it a thick watch or is it thin like the 5711? I'm guessing with the complications, I would assume it's a little bit thicker.
It actually, well, for me personally, it actually fits quite nicely on my wrist.
Right.
It is a nice watch, but you do know you're wearing it.
Yeah.
With it being in white gold, and it's selling for not far off double RRP. You know, that's the sort of figures at 180 to 190.
All right, Stu, that concludes the video. Wrapped up with the Nautiluses there. So that was part 2, the final part for this series, right?
Yeah, so we went with the 3 models. We didn't do the Grand Comps or the 24s, but I think, you know, the ones that guys are going to be interested in, which is mainly the Aquanauts and the Nautiluses, you know, and the Calatravas are the ones which are the entry level pieces, which people tend to ask to be purchased before they get offered these sort of pieces. So I think we've covered most things. The Grand Comps and the complications is
in future. Yeah, so if you like this kind of video, if you like this format, please do let us know in the comments. Give us some feedback. It helps us make better content for you guys. Please consider liking this video and subscribing if you want to see more stuff like this, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, that wraps it up.